私の活
行こう。
私の天の炎は紅蓮で全て集結させる。紅蓮で全て集結させる。
こうした形のない形、隙のない大丈夫だ。形のない形、隙のない隙。
ご主人様にとって邪魔なのです。
紅蓮で全て集結させる。紅蓮で全て集結。
形のない形、隙のない隙。
ご主人様。
敗れても挑み平安を勝ち取らん。
皆様と一
チームメン
アダージュアンダンテ演奏開始。時期は海のように大盤。私がコーダを捧げてあげましょう。
今だ、クライマックス。
適用高出力作戦回路。アクティベート。シンクロ率上昇。攻撃ロックオン。解析。アリアンの時間。防御の隙を見つけました。
今だ、クライマックス。どこへ逃げるつもり？真の叫びをもっと聞かせてよ。聞いたいな。
防御の隙を見つけました。高出力作戦回路。アクティベロックオン。解析。
ロンドの時間です。ただ時期は私がコーダを捧げてあげましょう。このレクイエムは戦場に消えてしまった全ての命に捧げるもの。
Hello everyone. What's up, man? What do I think about the remaster? I think it looks good so far. But I also don't understand why they're calling it a remaster, because it's clearly a full-on remake. I don't know why they keep doing that. It's not a remaster, it's a full-on remake. I guess they just don't say that because I guess people expect it to be, like, completely changed. The Dead Rising, they called that a remaster as well. I'm like, it basically was a remake. I don't know why they do that. Just because Final Fantasy VII Remake is, like, you know, AAA and everything, doesn't mean that, like, everything has to be called a remaster. How's it going? I'm excited for the direct. I'm excited for the direct. That's how it's going right now. Very excited for the direct. No, it looks like a full-on remake. The character models have changed. The combat has changed. they're adding full-on mechanics to it. That's kind of like not what a remaster is. That's not what a remaster is. I don't know, it just bothers me. The Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster was the same thing. It's like a full-on remake. Oh well. Alright, so I'm gonna try to get Alpha right now. I mean, are they even using the source code to make that game? It doesn't seem like they are. It straight up seems like it's, it seems like it's a full-on remake. I doubt that they have the source code for a game that old. For an old Japanese game, I seriously doubt that they have the source code. I mean, if they didn't even have it for Kingdom Hearts, which is like a generational game, I don't really expect them to have it for something like Dynasty Warriors 3. That's really pushing it. How much is this again? Let me see. Let me see how much this is. Oops. Let me plan this out, because I don't have that much money right now. No, I'm not going to do this right now. I'm going to hold off. Oh, wait. I'll wait till level 20. By that time, I should have some more money anyway. Yeah, we're not going to do this right now. We're not going to do this right now. Save my money for tomorrow. They might actually shadow drop something good tomorrow, so I shouldn't be spending any money right now. I will resist. I think it's just calling things remake now is like looked down on, because normies will expect it to be like FF7 remake level, which is like tens of millions of dollars and, you know, hundreds of people working on it. Obviously, a Musou game doesn't need that many resources, but it does seem like what they call a remake and what doesn't has changed. Because the Dead Rising remaster was basically a full-on remake, too. I mean, they changed, like, how the characters look. They, like, updated the mechanics. I don't think, like, anything from the original game was used at all. I mean, in terms of, like, the code and the assets, I think, like, everything was made from scratch. So, calling that a remaster is a bit of a stretch. I don't know, maybe they did have the source code when they made that remaster, but I doubt it. We know that Japan is very irresponsible with preserving their netcode. Not netcode, but source code. We know they're very irresponsible with that. They make, like, some of the best games of all time, and then you find out, like, they didn't even keep the source code. They, like, just let it go in a dumpster at some point, like, a couple years after it got released. Which is nuts when you think about it. We know that they didn't have the Kingdom Hearts source code, and they had to get it off a disc. Which is just crazy to think about. You think a game that sold millions of copies, that's like so good that, you know, they've re-released those games like 6 times now and people are still buying them. You think that that would be something you would keep the source code for, but apparently that's not the case. They didn't keep any of it. That is absolute insanity, so I don't think that the Dynasty Warriors remaster is made with any kind of source code or original assets. I mean, they might still have the models. I would imagine they still have the models because they've been using those animations for, like, especially like Fuji and stuff. Like, their movesets come from that game. So that's probably like the only thing that they have in terms of the old assets. Well, the RE4 remake is interesting because they definitely did recycle some assets because they remade 2 and 3 prior. But it is a remake. You know, they changed parts of the game, they completely redid everything, even if a lot of the assets were recycled, because there's only so many red barrels and guns you need to make for a Resident Evil game. You know, you can use the same ones. But that is definitely what you would call a remake. They did actually go back and make it again. It's just they had like 3 games worth of assets that they could recycle from. You know, because RE7 and RE8 and then 2 and 3, you know, they definitely recycled a bunch of stuff from there, but it's not things that people would notice. It's more like, you know, the gun models and stuff. You know, you don't need to make like another handgun. You don't need to make another handgun. They already made the same handgun before. You know, just recycle that old one. You know, if they remake DMC1 like people thought that they were, that was supposed to get announced, that didn't get announced, that they'll definitely recycle stuff from the RE4 remake. Most of DMC1 is set in a castle, and then like about half of RE4 is set in a castle. They're definitely going to recycle a lot of that stuff. You know, like the doors and the furniture and stuff. That's kind of why it did make a little bit of sense that maybe that was supposed to happen, or it still is, but, you know, it's not far along enough to show, because they do have a non-zero amount of stuff that they could recycle. They probably would have been a bit more hesitant about making another Resident Evil 4 remake. If they hadn't already made, like, so many current-gen assets for Resident Evil. But yeah, I'll play the remaster. I'll play it. I won't have to pay for it because I have a connection at Koei Tecmo now. But I'm cautiously optimistic. One good thing I've seen them do that they needed to do was kill the Switch 1 support, because there's no way that that game was going to run well on it. The Switch 1 could barely handle the Katana engine as it is, so the fact that they were going to put that on the Switch 1 is absolute insanity. I don't know why they thought that that was a good idea. I know it sucks that a lot of people won't get to play it, but we weren't going to get a good experience anyway. The engine does not scale well to the Switch 1. I hope that they've done some optimization work, but it looked like it was dropping frames in the trailer, so that's not a good sign. I mean, depending on what platform they were using to record that, which was probably PC, I would hope they have a good enough... They're giving the people making the footage for the trailers a halfway decent computer to make that footage on, but it looked like it was dropping frames a ton, so I can't imagine what that game was supposed to be like on Switch 1. Definitely would not have been playable. I'm saying this as somebody who's poor himself. Like, I don't want to sound like I'm making fun of poor people. I'm obviously poor myself, but honestly, I would rather not play something than get a bad version of the game, which is like exactly what they've been doing with the Tales games. You know, Switch is like cheapest modern platform that you can play Tales games on, but it's the worst. It's worse than the PS3 versions of those games, like, and the Wii version of Graces. It's like, do you really want to play that? They can't even give you a good experience. They're going to charge you the same price. I'd be like, honestly, I would rather just not play the game until I have the proper equipment to play it, The problem with the Tales ports is that they're like way less demanding than trying to run a Musou game in Unreal Engine 5. But Bamco does not care about the people who buy their products. Their support of the Switch 2 has been abysmal, especially the Switch 2. At least the Arise port is like one of the better ones, I guess, but still should have been 60 FPS locked in battle because the deck can do it. Once again, they half-ass their ports, and they get surprised that Switch players complain. They have every right to complain. Obviously, Arise is a pretty demanding game still, but the other games are not. They should be able to hit 60 FPS at least in battle. There's no excuse. So I'm glad that Koei Tecmo did the right thing and they just cut off support for the Switch 1. It would have been like sub-native resolution and constantly under 30 FPS. It would have been worse than just playing the old one on your phone at this point. So that's one thing they did during the delay. Whether they actually made it run any better is anyone's guess, but I think that was a good call. You don't need to follow in Bamco's footsteps and do a bad job porting the games and get surprised when, the Switch crowd doesn't like it. At least, like, charge them less if you're not going to give them a port that had any effort put into it. The fact that the Graces remaster doesn't even run at 60 FPS in battle is crazy, because it did on the Wii like 15 years ago. Like, there is zero excuse. It's straight up worse than the old one in the part that matters, which is battle performance. They also put out like Sparking Zero on Switch 2, and it still runs at 30 FPS. It's like the resolution is slightly better, I think, and that's it. That's the only difference. At least with that game is Unreal Engine 5, so expecting it to run 60 is a bit of a stretch, but I could definitely understand buying that and not doing your research, and it just runs the same as the old one. But yeah, the Dynasty Warriors 3 Remaster is basically just full-on remake. They probably would have to do the same thing with God Hand, to be honest. Like, I doubt that they have the source code for that game. I'd be shocked if they did. I don't think that's the reason why they haven't brought it back, but it probably is one of them. You'd be surprised how irresponsible big Japanese companies are with preserving their source code. Maybe they're going to announce it tomorrow. God Hand Remaster. It's a good thing they pushed it back if it was barely going to run, though. I honestly think they should stop doing... They should just straight up stop doing Switch 1 ports. They're not going to run. It's not doing anyone any favors.
And now... Okay, that was a good one.
Yeah, rollback patch, rollback trainer, rollback mod manager as well. Yeah, this game is a mess. This game's a mess right now. And then Archlord Virgil and Dreadstorm, or Archlord Dante and Dreadstorm Virgil.
Too easy! Not so fast! Party time!
Yeah, I'll help you out after I'm done. Yeah, they basically didn't add anything. They added like an NVIDIA logo or something. And like I said, we have to... This game is not really PC Master Race, if you ask me, because we have to, we have to use mods for so many things that the console version has. Sucks. Maybe that's gonna change tomorrow. There was somebody that said that the Steam database for this has been getting updated, and this game is 7 years old now, so the only reason why that would be happening is if there is going to be like some kind of content to coincide with the Switch 2 version, which we know is happening. But yeah, they patched this game a bunch, and the only significant thing that they added was Bloody Palace and then Virgil, and all of that happened in the first year, so the other patches were basically just messing with mods. They didn't add anything worth breaking all the mods, I guess would be the better way. They did add things. I think they, like, fixed some bugs and stuff, but... is that worth making the mods break? I mean, in my opinion, no. It's not like they have anything against mods, because, I mean, there were mods for RE9 Requiem and Pragmata within, like, the first day, so... Monster Hunter Wilds as well is like one of the biggest examples, proof that we have that they don't care about mods. They just don't want you to they don't want you to charge for them or like use them online. You know, don't go on Wilds. Don't go on Wilds with a bunch of, you know, mods that make you stronger and ruin the experience. You know, don't cheat on the mercenaries on RE4 Remake, you know, and get an impossible score. But that's like basically it. Other than that, they don't care. It's just the fact that the updates didn't add anything, and then they significantly broke the modding at the same time is the problem. Like, they're pretty hands-off with mods for a big company. They don't really care. Especially because most of what they make now is single-player. Really, the only competitive game they've got right now is Street Fighter. The cheating in that game has been more like macros and stuff than just like turning yourself invincible. So... it's just the updates didn't add anything of note, so if you want to play this game with mods, you gotta... gotta do a bunch of mumbo-jumbo. I'm still a little bit sick.
Party time! Okay, that was a good one.
Well, we don't know if it's coming tomorrow. It might actually be a shadow drop. I kind of doubt it, though. It's probably going to be later in the summer. It would be nice if it was a shadow drop. I mean, if they're doing branch updates to it that are public, that you can see on Steam database, then that kind of implies that it is coming soon. Is it coming as soon as tomorrow? That we don't know. Like, we don't have Turbo, we don't have LDK, and it would be nice to have those things just natively without needing mods. It won't mess up anything, because it's very easy to downgrade this game. It's just, is it going to be worth updating everything? Will it add something that's worth playing on main patch? The Borderlands 4 community is like this as well. They kept down patching to the launch version because it broke the speedrun. There was a glitch with one of the guns in Borderlands 4 that made it like way faster to finish the game. And you know, that game adds like so little content and the optimization's barely fixed after all these months, so they just down patch. I'm sure us in this community would just do the same thing. If they're adding what people want, which is Lady and Trish, I think people would play on the current patch. But if it's just giving us Turbo and LDK, and no like actual new content, then people will probably just down patch. That's pretty common with games that still get updates. Especially if it's an older game. You know, there needs to be something worthwhile to warrant playing on current patch. And if it's just like a bug fix that breaks all the mods, you know, and the people who update the mods don't come back or they're busy with IRL, then yeah, you just downpatch. We'll see. It might actually full-on be like a new character though, so if it is, that's definitely going to complicate things. I mean, like, with the Borderlands 4 community, it was a no-brainer, because they've added barely anything to that game since it came out. It's not worth playing on current patch. I'm too messed up to play that right now. I'm still sick. My throat's still irritated from coughing. Well, it's very easy to patch DMC5. It's just replacing a couple files and renaming one. You can go from current patch to main extremely quickly. I don't know, I kind of doubt that they're adding Lady and Trish, though. That seems like a bit of a stretch for a port of a 7-year-old game, but I mean, they did do that with 4 Special Edition, to be fair, so it's not, like, impossible. I just find it improbable. You don't really need to do a lot to sell that game to the Nintendo crowd, other than just having it on the console. But, you know, they did go the extra mile with the, they did go the extra mile with the DMC3, you know, adding style switching and stuff. It wasn't as good as the mod. But having that on console is really cool. The process of setting up that stuff is not simple, especially like if you're, you know, the only PC you have is like a Steam Deck. So it was really cool that they had that just in the game by default, but I have my doubts that it's going to be substantial, like a full-on like new characters and stuff. They could definitely make the game a lot better for everybody, though, if they just made it so you could play as anybody in any campaign. Because even if you like V, that's the problem with DMC5, is like, even if you like V, you only get to play as him for a quarter of the game, basically. He's only in 4 levels out of 20. The only character that's got a campaign to himself is Virgil. So if you main with anybody else, you know, you can't do like a full run with them. So like if they added that, and then like LDK for PC, and then like Turbo for everybody, I think that would be enough. I wouldn't really expect much more, but you never know. If they're patching the Steam database for the game, and the game is already so old, I mean, it's going to be 10 in 2029, that seems to imply that it is going to be, like, something substantial, and not just, you know, changing the logo again. I think they know full well if all they're gonna do is give us turbo, that they wouldn't even bother patching the PC version, because anybody who wants to do that stuff has already been doing it for years. So that seems to imply that there will be more to it, but I guess we'll find out. If it doesn't happen tomorrow, at least gonna find out. We're gonna find out what exactly it's going to have. Just like, you know, if they put Kingdom Hearts 3 on Switch 2, which they obviously are going to, they're not going to bother patching the PC version if they add Olympus Coliseum, because they know that we already have it. He doesn't need a wheel. There's no need for a weapon wheel. They already give you the ability to equip everything. And all the swords are identical anyway. That's kind of the point of that Archlord Dante mod I was just messing around with. It's supposed to make the swords different, instead of just, you know, the only one that's worth using is Double Sword. The whole point of the weapon switching is supposed to be you have more options, but switching to the one you want gets harder. But the problem with that design is that there's never a reason to use anything but Double Sword Dante, because it's the only one that's actually unique. The rest are basically just skins. You don't have enough to differentiate them, which is kind of what Archlord Dante is doing. All the swords play completely differently now. It's not done yet. He's not finished making it, but that's the goal. To make it so, like, if you actually had 7 weapons, it wouldn't just be, like, 4 and then 3 identical swords. It's more like 4 weapons and then 1 sword, and then the others are just kind of there. He doesn't need a weapon wheel. The game needs more functionality. You know, we shouldn't have to use a mod to get turbo mode. Like, that is just stupid, because that's been a thing since DMC3 Special Edition 21 years ago, or 20 years ago. We shouldn't have to mod the game for that. They need to at least give us that. The rest is up to them as far as I'm concerned, but I've always found that extremely stupid. That's why that game is so weird to play. You think that the PC version would be the best. I'm like, well, it is if you know how to do modding and stuff, but, you know, most people don't want to mess with that. I'm like, yeah, I don't blame you. It's one thing if you want to add, like, full-on modes or characters or, like, movesets, kind of like what they do with Kingdom Hearts, but, like, you shouldn't have to mod it. Shouldn't have to mod it for the sole purpose of getting turbo mode. Like, that is stupid. So, I'm going to assume that won't be a problem anymore, at least. Console, the PC version of DMC5 is only the best version if you want to mess around with mods, and right now it's actually kind of difficult to get that stuff to work, so I think most people won't want to bother with that. Yeah, he doesn't need the wheel. It felt like they just put all the swords in there for like the first playthrough when you don't have the double sword, but then after that they become pointless. So yeah. Weapon wheel made more sense for DMC 3 where all the weapons are unique instead of 5 where he really only has 5 weapons. You go from the Rebellion to the Sparta, but they don't play any differently. After this run, I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'll show you what's been going on with DMC 5. I'm just gonna finish this run first. There's new stuff to unlock. And then I'll probably just turn off the stream because I gotta rest my voice for tomorrow. I'm obviously still a little bit sick. This is Overrider. What's up, man? Hello? Yeah, my throat's still jacked, so I didn't feel like doing a voice chat tonight. I thought it was better than it was. Oh, I just got a Limit Zero Breakers test. Huh. Alright, well maybe we'll check that out tonight. I don't know if it's up right now. I was wanting to try that game. Yeah, I haven't been avoiding you guys. I like hanging out with you guys, but my throat's been kinda... my body's been kinda jacked up. Got a lot of acid reflux, and then throwing up from acid reflux, and then like that messes with your throat. So I haven't been talking much. I'm fine with doing it on a stream, but like making a video like this is just not something I want to do. I thought I was good enough to do it today, but clearly I'm not. I need a little bit more time. But my streams aren't like big like Nintendo Direct level events, so you know I'll do it for this, but like doing a video like this is just not something I can do right now. Wow, zeroization protocol. They actually added some like really cool stuff to this now. Let's get 2 vector bits. I want to see what else there is. Time lag pulse. It's got PGR in this game now, I guess. Look at that health. Deleted. Jeff Keighley lied. Why wasn't this at the Game Awards? Damn. It's the opposite of a rise. It's deletion. Ah, best game. Let's just make it so you can have the bosses just stuck in hit stun and they can't move. Very powered video game right here. An actual good roguelike. It's not afraid to let you do cool shit like that. Yeah, it's one of those new things they added in the update I haven't seen yet. Oh wow, this place looks so much better now. Well, not better. It's different. I guess the old level's supposed to come back later, he said. Definitely looks very nice. This game's got a very good art team. Just wish that more people would play this game. Really like having more pristine chip options, so less of the game is, well, at least for the way that I like to play it, is resetting until you get the one that cuts the tag cooldown to 2 seconds. I don't like playing the game without that, so now you don't really have to do that anymore. Really good patch overall. I haven't seen everything in it yet, but she just slowly going up because she's stuck in witch time. Team Rocket, the exit right there. Yeah, you're getting comboed, sister. Oh, damn! I love this game so much. One of the best roguelikes that nobody is playing. Such a good game. It's just fun and well made. But that's not enough on Steam anymore. Ah, there we go. Endless Battle Will. Threshold Bomb. Overrider. Here, I'll link it in the chat. So I gotta see if that Limit Zero Breakers is up. If that's up, I'll play that right now. Yeah, that was a pretty insane run. I've never been that powerful before. It is $10. If you like what you saw, just skip Starbucks tomorrow and go buy that game. It is very good. Just a fun game all around. It's made by people who understand beat-em-ups, and then they also understand roguelikes. Okay, so the Limit Zero Breakers is not up yet. It won't be until they're going by PST, so looks like they're saying here, yeah, the 10th at 6. Okay, so I'm not pivoting to that, but I'll show you guys what's going on with DMC5 for those who don't know. Just give me a sec here. Alright, so let me show this. So if you look right here, they last updated the branch for DMC5 2 days ago, and they've been working on it. You can see there's been a lot of these updates. But you notice around March it really started to ramp up. Like several times throughout the work week, they were adding to the branch update. And then as you can see here, over the past month, it went from April to May, but then since last month, it's been almost every day they've been adding stuff to, changing the branch. What that means in Steam terms is that they are messing around with the files. But they're not pushing anything to public. But if you go like all the way back, you know, the last update was like a couple years ago, right? So now they would not be doing this if the Switch 2 version, which we already know is happening because it got rated by Peggy, which almost always means that, you know, the game is actually going to release. It seems to imply that it's going to be a major content update, and they're actually going to give it to us. So does that mean full-on, like, Lady and Trish and Divergence mode, and then, like, Turbo and LDK? I doubt it. I would not expect LDK, because there's no way that the Switch 2 can handle that. The Switch 2 can handle this game just fine, because it runs on the Steam Deck. I mean, if you remember when the Steam Deck was first marketed by people, by Valve, like, the first game that they showed was this. One of the first games they showed was this. And I can vouch for this. Before my Steam Deck got broken, you can play the game with mods and it won't drop a single frame. But, you know, if you try to run LDK mode on that thing, it's definitely not going to run very well. I would not expect that, but it seems like at the very least, it's got to be something worth doing this for. Because they didn't think that it was worth giving us Turbo and LDK, because the last content this game got was Virgil, when the special edition came out for current-gen consoles. So it seems like it actually is going to be, it is going to be like a major content update, and not just changing the logo again. And as you can see here, it ramped up significantly. Like, they were, look at this, on the 21st, they updated the branch, like, this many times. Also, this past week, since the beginning of the month, they've also updated it like 10 times. So, yeah, we'll see. Well, it's not completely broken. It's not completely broken, it's just the R1 button is broken. And Valve wanted a lot of money to repair it, and I didn't think that it was worth it, because I thought that a new one was going to be coming soon. But now with the whole AI slop tech bros jacking up the prices of everything, I might actually just go ahead and repair it. I tried to get somebody here to fix it, but they're all useless. You know, the usual tech stores that you go to where they don't know how to actually repair anything. That's not just turning it off and turning it on. They're definitely going for computer illiterate people. I mean, I still use it. I do kitty sitting streams still, but you know, if the game like requires me to use the R1 button, then I kind of can't use it very much. So yeah, that's why I haven't been doing much with the deck lately. I mean, it's been broken for like over a year, and I've tried like every repair shop in town, and they are all incompetent for the most part. They don't know how to fix it. Valve wanted like $200, and I wasn't really feeling right asking for donations to repair it because I thought that we were going to get a new Steam Deck next year. And we probably will still. They're saying next year or 28, but now with all the computer parts costing so much, like, I can't afford it. There's no way that I could raise that much money. So maybe repairing it is the way to go. I haven't decided yet. I'm having a really hard time getting ahead with like living on a low income and then also running the channel and like everything jacking up in price. I just don't know if it's something I can actually do. But yeah, it seems like we might actually get the game tomorrow. We might actually get DMC5. I think it's called like Demon Hunter Edition or something. They might actually get it tomorrow, and it might actually be a major game-changing update. That's what it seems like, but it's hard to tell. No, it's fine. It got dropped a couple times, but I can't put the blame on myself. It's more that the R1 buttons on the Steam Deck are very flimsy, and they can just give out very quickly, which is why I kind of wish that you could just attach the controllers, the buttons. But you can't. They're permanently on there, so if it's broken, it's broken. Alright. Well, I think I should probably go to bed so that I can be up for the direct. But knowing me and my body, I will probably wake up early. So what we'll do is, I'm going to go ahead and stop there because the direct's in like 5.5 hours. It's like 6 hours. 6.5 hours. And try to get some sleep and come back because, as I just showed, there is a higher than usual chance of them announcing something I give a shit about tomorrow. And I think it's better if I go to bed now, or at least try to, and get a couple hours of sleep, wake up, watch the direct, and then if there's a shadow drop, we can just go straight into it. But yeah, it seems like whatever they're doing for the DMC5 Switch 2 edition, it's going to be substantial, and it's also going to be coming to PC. Because I can't fathom what else they could be doing that would make them update the branch that much in the past couple months. My take on it as somebody who's had the game since launch day and has been using mods since the first day they came out, it'll suck if they don't have like Lady and Trish, but if they're gonna add like Turbo and LDK and like Divergence, which are like the three main things that people use on the trainer, I mean, the collab trainer has a lot of features, and some people use some of those features and some people don't, but like everybody uses Turbo, everybody uses Divergence, because for like content creation purposes, DMC5 kind of sucks unless you're playing as Virgil. Full honesty, because he's the only character that can fight every boss without any mods. So everybody uses Divergence. You know, Nero players use it, V players use it, Dante players use it. If they give us those things, then I actually think it's worth breaking all the mods, especially because the game is so easy to downgrade. But if it actually is going to be like full-on new content, that's really cool too. So yeah, I'll see you guys in about, I'll say about 4.5 hours. I'll probably be back. See you later.